Hi guys, today I'm going to be reviewing something a little bit different. I'm going to be reviewing these lovely toys. These are the Roboraptor, the big one and the mini one from WowWee Robotics. This is going to be a little bit different because I'm going to do a quick up-close review on the table like I normally do. And then we're going to go down on the floor so I can show you what the big one at least can do, because the little one I can show you on the table, but the big one I need to take you down onto the floor so I can show you properly, because it's going to scratch this table if I show you on the table. So, there we go, let's put that back down there. We'll get the big one off to the side for now. There we go, and we should just focus on the little ones. Right, I have two here. One of them was mine from the start, so one of them was mine brand new, and then the other one, this one, I got from a charity shop. The reason I have two is because, well, I wanted them to be babies for my big one. And some animals generally have more than one baby. So, yeah. One of these has batteries in, one of them doesn't. Same with the big ones. Right, so, this is the little Roboraptor. This is the one I got from the charity shop. I just remember because it has like a bit of moulding scars. And the little one really doesn't do much, but it looks kind of cute. And I'll show you from the other side because screw holes. I hate screw holes. So the head looks fine. This is literally... They're literally just mini versions of the big one. So detail-wise, it'll all be the same. Maybe a little bit toned down. But yeah, they're literally just mini versions of the adults. So there's the head, going all the way down the body to that. Now the whole idea behind this is, as you can see, there is still normal skin, normal eyes. So the idea behind these is it was a normal raptor that they basically turned into a robot, like an android in a way. So what this guy can do when he's turned off is you've got this little notch under here which operates the mouth, and the arms are articulated, so you can move the arms. His neck wobbles and his tail wobbles. There. And that is all just so when it walks, it can give you a little bit more, I guess, of a natural look. Now, one thing I noticed about these two is that this one has like black inner parts of the feet, and this one has white ones. And this is the one I got brand new. This is the charity shop one. So I'm wondering if this was one of the original runs of the mini one. Because I got this one like a couple of years back brand new from Smith's. So this is a more recent release of it, because they have started bringing some of their older robotic toys back. Because I've recently noticed that the big Roboraptor is coming back into the shops. So they released the little one as well. But apart from that, it's all exactly the same. Oh, no, wait. No, it isn't. The spot on the cheek is also unpainted on the newer one. Oh, and the spots on the tail are also unpainted on the newer release. Oh gee, they've skimped on a lot of paint on the re-release of it. Because the under the neck is also not painted. Under the arms is also not painted. And under the tail is also not painted. Also on the original release, the CE sort of marks are moulded in. Whereas on the new one, they're just printed on. I think the battery compartment's still the same. Yeah, the actual underbelly bit is still exactly the same. Yeah, so on the re-release of it, they have skimped out a lot on the paint. I never noticed that until now. They're even on the original release, we have the silver going in a big V shape and a little V shape. Whereas on the re-release, the entire top of the head, including this little Star Trek symbol in the middle, the whole top of the head is painted silver. You probably can't really make that out, but yeah. The top of the head paintwork is different. Anything on the rest of the body? No, the rest of it does look okay. So this is now confirming that to me, this is more of the original run of this toy. So yeah, so this one, the original run, is more accurate to the big one. I mean, neither of them have the silver that runs down the body or on the feet. Wait. No, I'm lying. The little one does have the silver paint on the feet. The new release of it doesn't. So right. Oh. So yeah, this original run of the mini Roboraptor is definitely more accurate to the paint scheme on the bigger one. And this one was probably just a cash grab then. So we'll put one of them away, because this is the one that is turned on. So this is like the rerun of it, so it just does exactly the same. That and articulated arms. Is inside the mouth painted differently at all? No. And all this one does is walk. This one doesn't do anything else. It just walks really awkwardly. So yeah. Oh, a minute. Oh no. See, that one just walks really awkwardly. Also, the rerun of it likes to stand slightly, like, upright. Whereas the original run is more horizontal, like the original Roboraptor. So anyway, we'll get the mini ones out of the way, but I will need to bring them back later in the video for the size comparison bit. So now we'll move on to the big one. Move the camera up a little bit. So here he is. Here is the big one. And I love this thing. I got this thing originally back in 2005 when they were released. So I have had this thing since release date, and mine still works perfectly. It's a bit aged, but it still works fine. This is not my original one. So looking at the detail, you can see the detail on this one is a lot better than the mini one. Look at those. Look at the eye. The eye just looks awesome. See, we've got a little bit of silver paint. You can't really see in this light, but we've got silver paint running down the sections. We've obviously got a bit of silver paint running down all of the top, so all the way down its back. And we've also got some silver paint on the toes here, and on the fingers here, like on the upper side of the fingers. If we look at the front of the head, you can see the silver paint once again goes down in the big V shape and the little V shape. So like I said, the original run of the mini Roboraptor is more accurate. We've got the cheek pads that are the cheeks that are done in black, and these spots down the back that are done in black. The spots on the feet were done in black on the original and the re-release, I think. Yeah. So these spots here are the only ones that were painted on the rerun of the mini Roboraptor. Oh, and the spots on the arms. So the spots on the arms were painted on the re-release as well. So while this guy is turned off, it can't really do anything. But while it's turned off, I can give you a quick lowdown of where all the buttons and the sensors are on this guy. So, starting with the head, we have a button under the chin. We've got one button there. Open the mouth. We also have a button on the roof of the mouth that activates some sounds and movement. The sensors on the head. We have the cheeks, which are basically its ears, and they react to sound. And we have the big spot on the top of the head and the nostrils, which in effect work as its eyes. The nostrils will sensor in front of it, whereas the head will sensor on top of it. The only thing these sensors don't react to is black. So if you put anything black in front of the dinosaur, it will just keep walking, and it will walk into it. Because the whole idea of this is they sense things that are around them, so they shouldn't bump into things. But Roboraptor here is a little bit clumsy when it comes to moving, because this was WowWee's first attempt at anything that wasn't humanoid, I believe. Because you probably know WowWee more for their Robosapien V1 and V2. This was the first one that they did that wasn't humanoid. So they needed to act with the center of gravity being in the middle of a stick, basically. Coming down the side, there are no sensors here, but the arms do. Flap around. Coming down to the tail, it's literally the head and the tail is where the buttons are. So, for the back of the tail, we've got the first two, like the first set of black dots are buttons, the rest aren't. We've got the first section of the tail, that's a button, and the second section of the tail, that's a button. So, I can't really show you this on a good side, because both sides have screw holes. This is the better side, because there's only screw holes on the leg. Right, so that's the dinosaur overall. If I bring the camera back down, we'll have a quick look at the remote, which pretty much looks like, and it looks and feels like a gaming remote. So you got your buttons, and you've got your triggers. And you see that light lit up red? That is, the green light is the light that the Roboraptor reacts to, and that is just showing you that it works. So, you've got your basic forwards, backwards, left and right buttons. The stop button is basically just to get it just cancels out whatever order you've given it and it just stops. Demo and roam. Also, demo just demonstrates how it moves, which I will show you the demo. And then you got these buttons which will just move the head. You got this button which is like a target practice thing, like if you keep it pressed, the light will just keep flashing. And the idea is Roboraptor will then go and find the remote. Shift, as you can see on here, demo is written in white and roam is written in green. So shift, if you press and hold shift, like on a computer keyboard, the buttons will then do their other functions. These will just have their normal functions, but this does roam, and these buttons all do something else as well. Because as you can see, they've got little tiny green dots under each of the little pictures, which shows that they do something else when in shift mode. So, that's the back of the controller. Also, one thing I will say is these things eat batteries. The remote doesn't. The remote is fine. The remote takes 3 AAAs, I think. I think the remote takes 3 AAAs. But the dinosaur itself takes 6 AAs. And if you're playing with it, like, constantly, those batteries will not last long. Because there is a lot of things in this toy that need the power. So, I shall now take you onto the floor and show you what this thing does. So down onto the floor, I have another of the full-size ones waiting. Now this full-size one down here is my original release of it. So this one is my original one. The big one that I showed you doing the up-close things is one that I saved from a charity shop because it doesn't have the cover for its battery compartment. So they would have had to bin this. So I saved that other big one from the bin. Right, let me just go and turn this one on. Yes, this guy is very noisy. So there we go. So there's like one of his idle animations that he does. Shut up. But yeah, that's sort of not necessarily one of the idle animations that he does, but it's something that he does when he senses something to the side. So at the moment he will be sensing that door that's to the left of the screen. So this is me just constantly pressing the stop button, so he doesn't do anything. So we'll start off by using the We'll start off by using the control buttons. So we want him to face us. So it's him to clumsily face us. There we go. And we can get him to back up a little bit. We could also get him to go face the other way a little bit if we wanted to, which we don't really want to. He needs to face this way. And we can also get him to go forward. In a walk, a jog, or a sprint. Stop. No. Now face the camera again, please. And also back up. As you can see, he's not the most agile of toys. He is a bit clunky. The WowWee did release another sort of creature remote control toy called the Roboraptor, and that one walks around on all 4 legs, and it is a lot more agile than this one. I will do a review of Roboraptor at some point in the future. So, now I shall press the demo button so you can see some of the stuff that it does. Now, for some reason, when he's in demo mode, his walking doesn't really happen. But when he runs and jogs, it will sort of happen. I apologise for the squeaking. So there we go. So I'll just send him backwards a little bit. No, other way. One of the things you need to remember when you're controlling this guy is that the controls are basically reversed. So you need to always remember that he will go in the direction as if you're the one facing him. So if you press left on this remote, he will go to our left, but his right. So there we go. So there we go. So this is... What I want to do is I want to bring him forward a little bit so I can show you some of the things up close that he does. So if I wave my hand in front of him, he will back up because he doesn't like it. And he sensed my hand. So yeah. Right, I think that's close enough. So I'll now show you some of these other buttons. So if I just lie down, so you can see which buttons I'm pressing. So yeah, so that the stop button just gets him to do that. Oh, you can actually see his little sensors blinking. Yeah. Obviously, in the real world, you can't see it, but the camera will pick them up. Does the camera pick up anything in the head? No. But there, you can see, it looks like his little sensors are blinking. So yeah, anyway. So the demo button is the one that I pressed for him to just walk around and make some noises. If we press these two side buttons, they just get him to move his head. So if I get him to like fully face us, there we go. So there we go. So they just get him to move his head. This one will get him to move his head around like that. And then the other one is the other way. And also, when he's not making any dinosaur noises, those are the only times you can really hear the motors in him, and it's only really his head moving like this that is noisy. Like that, it's not really too noisy. The middle button will just get him to do that sniff animation. Like that. Also, his mouth is only made to open when his head is in that position. So when his head is up, it's shut. When it's down, it's shut. When it's at the other side, it's shut. So yeah. So now if we press... So yeah, there we go. Now this one, like I said, is his tracking. So if I put the remote over here, he'll go towards the remote. And there we go. He's found the remote. Now, all the sound that he makes back up a bit. All the sounds that he makes come directly from his mouth. So I thought what they would have done, like with pretty much all... Shut up. Pretty much all remote control dinosaurs and things, is they'd have a speaker somewhere on the body, like on the butt, and the sound would come out of there. But no, all the sounds he makes comes directly from his mouth. And if you listen to him from his butt, it's a bit quieter. So yeah. So yeah, all of his sounds come directly from his mouth. Now shush. So we're going to go into shift mode now. And I'm not going to show it because basically his roam mode is basically literally just him walking around. He'll stop and turn around if he hits anything. Well, not hits anything, but if he senses anything, and that's about it. So I'll show you what all these buttons do in shift mode. So we'll start off with the middle one. That makes him do a bite. It also makes him do different things eventually when he's in that mode. So yeah, so that one on shift is a bite. There we go. This top one makes him do a slightly different sort of sniffing animation. This one just makes him shake like a dog. The bottom one doesn't actually do anything. Okay, the bottom one doesn't actually do anything. I was wondering why that one didn't actually have a thing. Alright, so this one makes him do little nuzzlings, which I think is adorable. So yeah, and obviously now he's sort of in shift mode, he will react differently. So see it. And then if I wave my hand in front of it, there we go. He doesn't like it and backs off. So yeah, I shall bring him forward a little bit so I can show you how the buttons work on him. Right, so the button under his chin. He doesn't like. Show it again. And then he backs off. When he's in his normal mode, which I think to put him back into his normal mode, I'm going to have to turn him off and on again. Because right now, he's in shift mode. What does this one do? Stop. I apologise for that noise. Let me just face him the other way so his tail isn't bashing against anything. Stop. Stop. So yeah, let's see what the buttons on his tail do in that. And that's what grabbing his tail does in shift mode. It makes him run away. So let's try again. Yeah, poor guy. See, that's honestly what grabbing his tail, so yeah, that's what grabbing his tail does. Makes him run away. Alright, I'm gonna have to pull him back so I can turn him off and turn him on again. So doing that just sort of resets him back into default mode. So when you do that and grab his... Yeah, shush. When you grab his tail in default mode, it just makes him do his startup sound again. If I bring him back around again. Shush. Shush. Back up. Shut up. If you press the button on his chin, he's happy. Shut up. He's doing that because he doesn't like the fact that his head is sort of in shade. Back up a little bit so we can see your beautiful face. There we go. There we go. And now if you... Oh, shut up. If you go in his mouth now and press the button... That is not weird. He does like a tug-of-war sound. Oh, I pressed the demo button. I accidentally let on the remote and pressed the demo button. Stop moving! Oh, you know what? Shut up. I'll go in with this hand. The button in the roof of his mouth makes him do this. So yeah. So that is pretty much everything that he does. So I'm going to turn him off. There we go. Get back up. Oh, my back. Alright, let's take you back onto the table. Whew. Right, so that was pretty much everything that guy does. Oh, my belly hurts now. So like I said, this one that we showed you on the table is one that I saved from a charity shop because no battery compartment, so the batteries don't stay in. So if I bring him in, and one of the minis, there we go. And for a size comparison, I'm just doing the one thing with a Funko Pop. I might as well grab the remote so you can see what the remote looks like.